Good evening, America. Good evening, world. We are back live. We have a great panel tonight on today's show. We're talking Star Wars Sith Troopers. We may even talk, we may just talk a little bit of Terminator Woke Fate, but we'll get to that too. And of course, the top 10 movies that would never be made today for any reason. Maybe the movie's too racist, maybe it's too sexist, maybe it's just too PC. But we'll get into that. And I'm joined here today with Road Rants, Fatal J, and Lord Callus. What's going on, guys?
How are you? Glad to be here.
Good, good. Happy to have four people. I think this is probably the first time I've had four people on the stream at once. So if you're just now joining, make sure you smash yes.
Oh, that's a wrestling throwback right there. Four Horsemen.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we can't call this the Texas three-step tonight.
No, not tonight.
Not
but
tonight.
I'm still happy about it though.
What's that?
I said I'm still happy about it. We not the Texas edition tonight. We got Callus.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully the notification just went out and we should be getting some people coming in. I don't know. Some reason notifications start like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes after we go live, which is kind of strange.
I just got it.
You just got it.
Yeah, I got mine.
Okay. Okay, so 2 minutes late. So that's all fine and dandy. Oh man. So Lord Callus, man, it's so good to have you back. Guys, check out Lord Callus's channel.
Please.
Good.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, good Star Wars content. He covers other stuff too. He also has a gaming channel too. I just subbed to that gaming channel last week, I think.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, because I didn't know you had one. Then you mentioned it on a video you put out. So
yeah, I just started it because I said, you know what? I didn't want to put too much gaming on Lord Callus, so I said let me separate this out and keep only Star Wars gaming because I still want to cover gaming, but I don't want to necessarily cover all of the gaming that I want to cover on this channel. So I put that separate on Callus Games.
That's a good thing you did that, Callus, because I always had past talks with John Talks, and he always told me you need to keep the channel real tight when it comes to the niche. And when you be all over the place, it's kind of bad for your channel.
Yeah.
Well,
especially in the beginning, and then when once you get some growth or you start to gain some momentum, then you can sort of branch out. I also learned that from what's his name, Roberto Blake, and he's a big fan of do as many channels as you want, but you need to make sure that you have focus. You have to have also those guys over at what's it called? It's the two guys. Think Media. They also say that. Just make sure.
Yeah. I watch Think Media. I like them. Yeah, because I actually decided to get my Canon camera because that's what they were recommending on one of their videos.
Same.
So, Think Media.
I got the M50.
Yeah, Think Media is a really good channel. Really good channel. Yeah. Haven't had that much time to watch them lately, but it's a real good channel though. So we have 11 people watching right now. We got 11 thumbs up. So keep smashing that thumbs up button. I'm going to be monitoring the chat. Also, you want to send super chat, you can. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. But we're going to jump into this topic. The first topic of 2 days ago, they announced that Sith Troopers were coming to the Rise of Skywalker. And that kind of caught me by surprise because I thought that they were going to let the past die. They were going to kill it, the Sith, the Jedi. And then all of a sudden, you see these Sith Troopers. They're basically stormtroopers painted red, but I think they look pretty cool. Doesn't mean the movie's going to be good. And my thought is, these guys, they're not on the side of Kylo Ren, because Kylo Ren is not a Sith. To me, these are Palpatine's personal stormtroopers. Where they come from, have no idea. Which leads me to believe that Palpatine has been around in the shadows for a while. So what do you guys think?
I'm excited. I actually have, and I don't want to give too much away. I almost wish I would have dropped the video first so I could still talk about it. But I've got a video coming that sort of that has a different take on it, on these Sith Troopers, whether it is Palpatine, whether it is Kylo Ren, or perhaps there's another sinister or evil Lord out there that may be controlling these troopers. So I'm not going to give it away because I'm hoping to drop that video tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited to see them. Like you said, I don't know. I know we have sort of, I don't know if it's confirmation, but what are their names? That's the Star Wars show. That Star Wars show, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
They talked about it briefly, and they sort of alluded to it being Palpatine. Then you have, what's his name? The guy that Zero, Mike Zero.
Zero.
He claims to have an inside source to say that it's Palpatine, that they're Palpatine's troopers. So who knows? But I've got a theory of my own.
I think
I hope you guys like it when I drop it.
It can only be Palpatine. He's the only Sith.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I'm so excited to drop this video, because I don't think anybody's thinking this way. But anyway, yeah.
Lord Palace, you may not be alone though. It already crossed my mind too.
Yeah, there's more than Palpatine.
But I want to throw a bone in to you guys though.
Yeah.
Okay. John said that Kylo Ren is not a Sith, right?
Right.
That's correct.
But see, I always took it as Snoke was the Sith master and Kylo Ren was the apprentice.
But Snoke wasn't Sith either.
He wasn't a Sith either.
He didn't have a Sith affiliation.
Yeah. Snoke also
was not Sith.
He also had other apprentices too. He didn't follow the rule of two.
So Sith was just considered somebody that knew the Jedi arts on the dark side.
No, not necessarily.
No, it's got its own philosophy. The Sith. So the Sith.
They come from the planet Malachor. They come from
from Korriban, which has been renamed Morabon.
What I said, Malachor. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Malachor. Yeah, you're thinking the what are their names?
Rings.
No, Malachor is God damn it.
See, I love having Lord Callis when we talk about
Star Wars. Brain for
it messed me up.
The Mandalorians.
Oh yeah.
When you're talking Malachor, that was the fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Sith are actually their own species, and they come from Korriban, which has, with the new canon, been named Morabon.
Wow.
And then the Dark Jedi were actually exiled. They were a group of Dark Jedi that were exiled, and they found Korriban or Morabon, and they ended up taking over.
That's deep, Callis, because I always thought Sith was just a title for somebody who practiced the dark side of the Force.
No, so you've got dark side users that have nothing to do with Sith, and that's why when you see in the one Clone Wars where Asajj Ventress, she says to Dooku, she's like, oh, then I am Sith, and he's like, no, you're not Sith. You've got a lot to learn, sweetie. So it's got its own philosophies, it's got its own culture, just like or much like the Jedi, but there are a bunch of different Force users, whether it be dark side or light side, and then if you have the there's some that don't even reference it as the light or the dark side of the Force. It's just the Force or the white current. There's the group of Force using females that only call it the white current. They don't refer to it as the Force. So there are different practitioners out there that subscribe to different philosophies, and the Sith and the Jedi are just two sects.
Well, see, that makes sense then. If we got Sith stormtroopers, then they can only belong to Emperor Palpatine then.
That was my point.
Or there's an apprentice out there somewhere.
But see, that's before I knew the definition of Sith. See, you learn something new every day. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, and there's only two, because maybe we'll see this part in the movie, but there was a bunch of Sith and they were, fighting each other, and then Darth Bane, basically he killed all the Sith and said they can only pretty much be affected by only having a master who has the power and an apprentice who wants the power.
Okay, now hold up.
He started the rule of two.
You guys just blew my mind now. Now is Vader considered Sith?
Yes, he's a Sith.
Yes.
So just like John said, so Bane, he created the rule of two based on Darth Revan's philosophies. And so because Revan was the first to, and he put it in his holocron, to sort of understand that there should only be one who embodies the power and one who craves the power. That philosophy came from Darth Revan, and Bane adapted that, and he's the one that actually created the rule of two. And then he sought out his first apprentice, which was Xana. He found Xana, I believe she was 6 years old, in the planet where he destroyed all of the Sith in the thought bomb. So with the thought bomb, so he apprenticed Xana because she was so powerful. She exuded a lot of dark side energy. She was passionate, and she was powerful at her young age. So he took her on as his apprentice. And then with the death of Xana and well, not Xana, but we don't know who it was, because the book sort of leaves it in limbo. So they've not confirmed whether it was Xana or Bane who died. But then you had Darth Cognis, who Xana or Bane, whomever it was that lived through the life transfer essence, or the life essence transfer, apprenticed Darth Cognis. And Darth Cognis went on, and her apprentice was Darth Millennial. And then Darth Millennial sort of separated because he didn't believe in the rule of two. He believed in like the Brotherhood of Darkness, how they believed, which was the power in numbers. So, I mean, the whole Sith just the history is rich, it's deep, and that's why it's, and I know I just bring it full circle, it's kind of sad the way that they have so much lore that they can be pulling from, and they just effed it up.
Yeah. Callus, you know what? You like a living Star Wars encyclopedia, man.
Listen, man, if I were to turn this and show you all of the books, man, like and then it just blew my mind when they said, okay, none of that is canon anymore. I'm like, God damn it. Like, all books and none of this is canon.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Hey, so there's I don't know if you want to call it a question in the chat, but Matthew says, how could Palpatine be resurrected? Lucas' own belief in canon was that the dark side cannot create life, and there is no afterlife for them. Is that accurate, Callus?
No,
because that doesn't seem entirely accurate.
Yeah, because
it isn't.
Also, it's George Lucas' idea to bring Palpatine back. He was going to do that in his episode 9 anyway. Palpatine was coming back regardless.
Right. That's right. Yeah, he was going to bring him back in his original version too.
Right.
And we have to understand also that the first ghosts, the first Force ghosts that we saw were Sith. They weren't Jedi. It was true that canon states that it was Qui-Gon, I guess, who learned. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, Qui-Gon who learned it, but I think they kind of addressed it in this new canon with this Lord Momin person who
you mean in the comic?
In the comics, yeah, because that takes place right after Sith, but before A New Hope. And Lord Momin is, as far as I know, is the first one that actually reappears through his helmet.
When you're talking this new canon, but he wasn't, because Exar Kun came back. Who else? I don't think Ajunta Paul came back, unless you want to go through. You want to use KOTOR as the example, because then Ajunta Paul did come back.
I guess technically, Bane came back technically in the Clone Wars when Yoda was going through his training.
So
I guess technically, and but also Cypher Diaz too.
Yeah. In Clone Wars, you mean?
Yeah, it's Clone Wars. So not necessarily Force ghosts, but they kind of came back.
Yeah.
So.
And they created the rule of two because they kept being a bunch of infighting among the Sith.
Yeah, it was a Sith war.
Yeah. So they said enough is enough, and let's create the rule of two.
Yeah, they actually had this super weapon that destroyed the planet and the Sith on it, and you're left with Darth Bane, and then he started the rule of two, all the way up until Palpatine and Vader. But you also have to know something else. These Sith Lords, they weren't necessarily, dedicated completely to each other. They had their own apprentices that they wanted to train after they wiped out the master. Dooku was doing it. I don't know if Vader was doing it in canon yet, but Dooku had Asajj Ventress. He was training her, even though she was an assassin, but he was training her to be a Sith.
Well, can I ask a question, guys? Because I'm kind of like the basic Star Wars fan. This is what I wanted to know. When it came to Darth Sidious telling Anakin that story about Darth Plagueis, was he lying or telling the truth about Darth Plagueis?
He was telling the truth.
That was the absolute truth.
He was telling the truth.
And when he was talking about the apprentice, he was talking about himself, right?
Yeah. Yes, himself. So according to the book, which is not recognized as canon right now,
which is really stupid.
It is absolutely, because it was a great book.
Yeah,
that book leads you all the way up until you first see Palpatine in Episode 1 in Phantom Menace. That's where he walks out. He's leaving Darth Plagueis. So he was supposed to have been celebrating. He and Plagueis were celebrating, and Plagueis was plotting on him the entire time. So he was allowing Darth Plagueis is immune, and not immune, but immune, MUUN. And so, so they were drinking, celebrating that Plagueis had the idea that as the Mune, he knew that he could not be the face of this empire. He was going to have, and this is where he messed up, he was going to have Sidious be the face, and he would pull all the strings from behind the scene. He would keep Sidious sort of in check because there was still that power that he craved. He did not teach Sidious how to create life. He didn't teach him that, though they both sort of use, like I read in the video, they used the power of the dark side to try to manipulate it to one side, and that's what created Anakin as the Force. I believe, not issue 25. I believe the Force balanced itself with the creation of Anakin. But anyway, point being, Palpatine allowed for Plagueis or Tenebris to get drunk, and as he was passing out, he killed him with Force lightning, or so he thought, and then that's how he became the Dark Lord of the Sith. And then he went on to put Plagueis's plan in action. That whole plan was Darth Plagueis's plan.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
And not only that, Darth Plagueis was alive during the events of the Phantom Menace. He was still technically the Sith Lord, and that's when he was killed off, I believe, according to the book. So
wow.
So the first time that you see him walk out to have that conversation as the Chancellor. That's right.
Yep. And Maul was there. Maul was his secret apprentice. He was Sidious's secret apprentice.
But he did find out about him, and then he asked him. He was like, "Why did you, were you looking to try to replace me or try to become the Dark Lord of the Sith?" And he's like, "No, he's, he was a gift. He's got he's powerful, and I'm going to use that as he's going to be a weapon for us. So he lied to Plagueis about it.
Same thing you saw in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do y'all think we're gonna see some of this stuff in the Benioff and Weiss trilogy?
If they go Old Republic, I would like to see that part. I would love to see the Sith Wars, but I think, and this is just me, I think Kathleen Kennedy and them are going to let them do their own thing, which is a big mistake.
Yeah.
When you say all thing, you talk about stuff that's not even in the canon in the lore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rhodes?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was initially Knights of the Old Republic, but now I'm hearing some really strong rumors.
It could be Old Republic, but not necessarily what you think.
The things involving potentially like Darth Bane, that's probably going to end up being a TV series.
That's how I prefer it to be.
Yeah.
If they were to tackle Bane, they couldn't do it in one movie, or I don't even think they could do it in a trilogy. I think to effectively tackle Bane's story, you would need a series, sort of like Game of Thrones. Like they would need a season or two. When you dive into those 3 books, and if they want to respect the lore as it's written, you can't do that because they would be summing up too much. They would need the time to flesh this out, because remember that the first book starts with him still before he kills his father, because man, it's just it's such a good series.
I kind of dwell in the lore a little bit. Now, Death Bane is the bald guy that kind of look like Vader, right?
Yeah.
He kind of got like a mechanical jaw.
He's got the square jaw. There's so many different depictions of Bane online, but if you just want to see what Bane really looks like, you just or according to the novelizations, then you just look at the novels. But there are different depictions of Darth Bane.
Because see, when I look online, when I look at some of the lore of Bane, it kind of reminds me of Vader without the helmet on. You know how he bald on top, but he got like that machine.
Yeah, he was bald, but he wasn't machine. What he did have though were these
was it like horns or something? I'm not.
No, they were parasites that were attached to him. Where he went to. I don't even remember off top because it's been so long since I read the book. But he went to. I don't remember which planet he went, but he was in search of these force parasites, and they were able to attach to his body. That's why you'll see some pictures of him depicted with this purple lightsaber, and he's got these cretinous looking things just attached to his entire body. That's what they are. He ended up having to take them off because they end up sucking all of the life out of him, but it made him basically invincible. These parasites attached themselves to him, and their shells were impenetrable. You could not. So you could not kill him with a lightsaber. You could not kill him with a blaster bolt. He was invulnerable as long as these things were attached to him. The problem was that they gave him that protection, but they sucked the force from him because that's what they ate off. So he was suffused with dark side energy because of the pain from them sucking the force from him. Does that make sense? And so he saw that as sort of a trade-off. If I use these things to protect me, I can become the most powerful Dark Lord to ever exist. The problem was that they were slowly sucking the life from him. And in the 3rd book, that's where Darth Xana starts to realize that he's starting to wane. His strength is starting to wane because these things are starting to get the better of him. So he wanted them removed because he felt like now he's going to end up dying sooner than he wanted to. because he never thought that she was. He didn't think that she was strong enough yet to take the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith.
Could you guys imagine if we get a Star Wars movie like that? But guess what? It'll never happen.
Yeah,
I really don't want it to happen because they would mess it up.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, they would mess it up.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
And we're gonna start here on our top 10 list, but just a little bit of news around the way. Rhodes can probably cover this a little better than me, but we do have the Mandalorian news. That season 2, I believe it is already written or is being written now.
No, Favreau's got 4 episodes already written for season 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
They've already started pre-production on season 2. He's getting all the technology that they use for season 1 set up, so they can essentially. It's confirmed that it's now 8 episodes. Each episode is about $15 million a piece.
Wow.
Oh,
so they
went
over. Well, not over. They said like $100 million for the season. That's pretty close.
But to put it in perspective,
Game of Thrones is $10 million an episode.
You're 1 hour away from having what would be a trilogy if it was a film. So if you're looking at $130, $140, $150 million budget, comparably speaking, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
When you get a trilogy worth of content out of it.
Have they said how long each episode is going to be?
Yeah, it'll be an hour.
An hour? Okay.
Yeah, they'll be hour-long episodes.
Oh, that's good.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing we've got coming.
Like Rose said, this is for us, for the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And you might as well pay. Disney Plus is only like $70 for the first year. So that's a really good price for 1 year.
Yeah.
You know? So it's definitely not that's a really good deal. So
yeah, because I want to watch that Winter Soldier and Falcon series too. So
well, I'm telling you, based off their lineup, I might have to get rid of Netflix because Netflix really ain't bringing a pain like Disney Plus like they will.
Well, if you've got T-Mobile, then I got T-Mobile, so my Netflix is free.
Yeah, me too. I got T-Mobile too.
Well, Netflix is about to lose a bunch of stuff because of HBO Max, which is coming.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose like a bunch of content, and you're going to be able to get like HBO, Cinemax, TNT, TBS, and a bunch of other content all on like one streaming service.
Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I just saw that the other day, and they're losing like, the biggest show that Netflix has besides like Stranger Things, believe it or not, is Friends. Friends is watched on Netflix like crazy. Yeah.
I believe that because Friends always been a big show.
Well, they've said
but you can get it on like TNT.
Well, right, but it's millennials and the younger folks that have went to Netflix to watch Friends and learn about it. Like, instead of watching it on TV, they've been watching on Netflix all these years.
Interesting.
There's something about Friends and Seinfeld people love. They love them two shows.
I never got into them. That's just
me either.
All right, guys.
I liked Friends at one time.
I liked Friends too. Yeah, I liked Friends. Friends wouldn't make it now, though.
No.
Man, nothing.
Living in New York City with no. Then they tried in that last season, right? They tried. They gave up.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys are ready for the main event?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Gotta love it.
All week that Joker waits to do that.
All right, guys, we're gonna jump into our top 10 movies that will never be made today if they came out today. So let's start off. Lord Callis, you have any honorable mentions too, by the way?
I do. I have 5 honorable mentions, and I looked at this from the perspective of, like you said, that would not be made today, or if they were, there would have to be drastic changes made to them.
Yes, yes.
All right. So, honorable mention number 5, Weird Science. And the reason why this is an honorable mention is because I forget the lead actress's name, but
Kelly
LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock.
Yes, she was actually a strong character, so they may have let her slide. So that's why I was like, I'm not quite sure, but so that was my number 5.
Yeah, but
number 4.
That movie was going to be objectifying women. That was be the main.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It could have passed. Or maybe not. I don't know. They would have had to make some changes. But then my number 4 to number 1, and the reason why these are honorable mentions is because they were comedy. So Bill Cosby himself, for reasons I don't need to explain.
Anything with Bill Cosby.
Exactly. Number 3, Richard Pryor, Live on Sunset Strip. Number 2, Eddie Murphy, Raw or Delirious, you choose. And number 1 is Kings of Comedy. So those were my honorable mentions that would not make it. The comedy would not make it in today's world. And then the objectifying of women from Weird Science.
I don't think you can do any type of stand-up comedy from the 80s and 90s today.
I agree.
I mean, George Carlin would get killed.
Oh,
if he did comedy.
Yeah. So into number 10, and I'll give the reasons why also. So number 10, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And the reason for this one would be sexism and animal cruelty. So,
it's been a while since I've seen that one.
If you remember the movie,
I never even thought about it, but you're totally on point. You really are. God, dog. That's
number 9 would be Willow because of representation. There's no.
Well,
okay,
it has representation. It has dwarfs.
Yeah, it's got dwarfs, but imagine now.
No black
it just
people,
would exactly. And number 8, for the same reason, Stand By Me, representation. So the 4 boys would probably have to be 1 black, 1 white, 1 Asian, and somebody would have to probably be homosexual.
That's a great movie, though, man.
But I'm telling you,
boys. It wouldn't be all white boys. He right.
Yeah.
I'm glad I went with all comedies because Lord Callis is just ripping my soul out right now. I never even thought about Stand By Me, but you're absolutely right.
The number 7 movie would be Dirty Dancing. Again, sexism, the fact that they had to tackle abortion, they would probably flip scripts where it's not putting baby in the corner. They'd probably say, you're not putting Johnny in the corner. So I just don't see Dirty Dancing
that's a
being the way that it was then today.
It would be 2 dudes now and Ricky Martin.
And no representation either.
No representation. Forrest Gump. Now, follow me on this one. Yeah, so Forrest Gump for the reason of racism, because the only black guy that you see is a retard that only talks about shrimp.
But you know what?
You're wrong for that, man.
Forrest Gump is basically in a small town where there's nothing but white people. There's a lot of.
But I'm just telling you, man, try to do it. If you try to do that movie today,
you're right. You're right.
He right though.
Number 5, Dumb and Dumber for shaming.
Now that's interesting that you would say Dumb and Dumber because Jim Carrey, he's extremely woke. He is extremely woke.
It's crazy. Crazy. Number 4, Mrs. Doubtfire, because it's insensitive to transgenders.
Yep. That didn't make my list. I forgot about that one.
I did too. Yeah.
That's a good
Number 3, and this one is going to be off the chain, but I see the argument. Braveheart, because
Wow.
now Braveheart is supposed to be historically or based on, right?
Yeah. It's not historically accurate.
But there's no way that they'd be able to pull that off. Somehow somebody would be screaming about the lack of representation, or
no black people in Scotland. It makes sense. Which makes no sense.
Exactly, that's my point. Like that doesn't meet the representation. The representation is where this is a historical film. So, but I just see people being crazy and all up in arms.
Yeah. They also make a claim that Mel Gibson is not Scottish.
True.
They already make that complaint. That's a thing online. It really is, believe it or not.
And I hate to cut you off though, but I'm wondering now. He's making the Passion of the Christ sequel right now. When that first one came out in 2004, that was a smash hit. I can see SJWs going crazy talking about, well, they can't be showing Christian stuff in the movies anymore. That's offensive to like Muslims or something like that, which makes no sense. But I digress. Yeah, they're making it right now. It comes out next year.
Wow. And you know what? Mel Gibson makes the best movies ever, so I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lord Callis.
Number 2, American Beauty.
That's on my list.
Ooh, wow. I didn't think about that one.
That's a good one.
But there's representation in that.
There's representation, but think about, first of all, how the message would be when he ends up having sex with he didn't actually have sex with her, but he attempted to have sex with the girl that was 16, 17 years old.
He did have sex with her, remember?
No, he stopped because she said she was a virgin. And then
that's right.
Yeah.
And then,
right.
Think about the dad, the strict dad, the army dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also the woman who left, his wife, how she was running to that other dude, how she wasn't as strong as they were trying to make her appear to be. So I thought American Beauty was a great movie, but I just don't think that it would fare well coming out today or in today's culture.
Also, Thora Birch, who played his daughter, she had a nude scene.
Yeah.
And I think she was only 17.
Wow.
That would never fly today.
Yeah.
Good
and my number 1, Scarface.
That's
I thought about that one, man.
That's on my list too. It's on.
I thought about
so
stereotypical of Latinos, huh?
Yep, and then the fact that he's an Italian playing a Cuban. Why couldn't they find a Cuban to play that role?
Yeah.
Why couldn't? Yeah. So that's my top.
They could have got Victor Rivers to play Tony Montana, but nobody could have played that role. Like
nobody could have played it better.
Nobody.
Than him, but yeah, it wouldn't have been the same movie. But
that's a pretty good list, man. Mine is quite different. I think me and Rhodes are probably going to be similar. I know that Jay is going to have a much different list.
No, I'm gonna tell you something. Me and Callis is close. We almost the same.
Okay.
So do y'all want me to jump in on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my honorable mentions is Lord of the Rings. And the reason why I say Lord of the Rings is because there's no black people in that movie.
Yep. You're right.
The next movie, Jackass, the movies.
Oh yeah, that's a good call, man.
Good call, man.
That's a good one.
God, Jackass.
Yeah,
that would no way fly in this in this day and age. Next movie up, Roadhouse.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one before too.
Yeah. The next one up. Have y'all ever seen this movie called Kids?
No, I haven't seen it.
Y'all never seen it? Oh man, it's crazy. It's basically underage kids having sex, drugs, all that. That movie will never fly in this day and age.
No.
And that's pretty much my honorable mentions. My number 10, you know it's always gonna be on my list. Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan movie.
Oh yeah, Lamentation of the Women.
And I'm gonna tell you, based off of one scene in that movie alone. Remember when Conan was still a slave, and he got he was training. He was doing the sword training with the Asian guy.
Yeah.
And remember they had him in that cage, and they said since he was doing such a good job, they would throw him different slave women, and he had sex with one of the slaves. That would no way happen in this day and age. In a movie.
No. And they didn't even show it. But that would be historically accurate when it comes to ancient Rome and the gladiators.
That's true.
Yeah.
But number 9. Oh, go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. Never mind.
All right, number 9. Have y'all ever seen this movie? It's called Alpha Dog.
Alpha Dog.
I've heard of it. It's a comedy, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a drug dealing movie.
Oh, then I haven't heard of it.
They kidnap this little boy at the end and they kill him.
Yeah.
I basically spoiled the movie. Number 8, 300.
Wow. Oh yeah, I know why. Making Middle Easterns seem like they're evil and everything. What they did with Xerxes.
No, that John, but remember when the monster looking dude, he wanted to join Leonidas?
Yeah.
And Leonidas basically told him in a nutshell, you can't even lift up your arm. That's talking about handicapped people.
Yeah, but the thing is that part was historically accurate. Like at the beginning, when you were born in Sparta, they inspected the baby's body. If the baby had any deformities or whatsoever, they threw him off the cliff. That was historically accurate.
That's another one that they will have a problem with when they was killing the babies because they wasn't fit to be in society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true though.
Number 7, the movie Troy. Have y'all ever seen that movie?
Yes, I love that movie.
It was one scene where Brad Pitt slapped his love interest in the movie. Do y'all remember that part?
Yeah.
There's No Way Fly.
Yeah, that was after Patrickus got killed.
Yeah. Okay, number 6, Sin City. Just based off the part where they have prostitutes running around, killing dudes, all this type of stuff, making ladies look bad.
Yeah.
Number 5. Have y'all ever seen this movie called Bully? It was by the same people who made Kids, but it was basically the same thing where underage kids going around doing drugs, and then one of the kids killed his best friend. It's a very indie type movie. Most people have.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Number 4, Fight Club with Brad Pitt.
That's a good call. Good call.
I thought about that
because of the mentally ill.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good call. I didn't think of that one.
When we get to my list, I'll tell you why I think it's. I've got it over on my stuff too. Yeah.
Lord Kelly said it on this one. Number 3, American Beauty.
Good call.
Number 2, Scarface. And my number 1, Goodfellas.
Wow.
Goodfellas.
Man, I have to say this, guys. Lord Callis' list and Jay's list is completely different from mine.
Mine too, for the most part.
I mean, Lord Callis, how old are you?
40.
Okay, so you like around
so
my age.
You want to be right there.
Yeah. Because I can already tell me and Rhodes' list is going to be very, very similar. Very similar. Rhodes, you want me to go next? Because I think
if you're dying to go for it.
I'm dying to go, man, because
go.
Their list is way different.
Go.
Honorable mentions. Pretty Woman. Won't ever get made today.
I thought about that. Yeah.
I see that.
Terminator. It's for the fact that you have a weak woman in the beginning of it, and it takes the white guy to make her strong.
Yep.
Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that none of you guys had this on the list or honorable mentions. The Phantom Menace. The whole Jar Jar Binks thing.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
But you know, it took me a long time to get why everybody was angry at Jar Jar.
I wasn't angry at it, but
it's not only Jar Jar. There was the complaint about Jar Jar. There was a complaint about the Nemoidians because they said Jar Jar was reminiscent of Jamaican. The Nemoidians were cop out for Asians.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they were up in arms about
very much
more than it was crazy. I was like, really? I'm looking at this and just seeing some aliens.
Yeah,
it's
and we know that George Lucas is the least racist person in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean his wife is black.
His wife is black.
Yeah, like come on.
Well, not at that time, but his current wife is.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, Star Wars has always had diversity. Don't believe Disney.
Yeah.
All right. Continuing on, Striptease with Demi Moore. Now this is a big one because this movie even had controversy when it came out. Showgirls.
Yeah.
Okay.
1995. That was NC-17 rated when it came out. So,
Showgirls, is that the movie with the girl from Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Boogie Nights.
Oh, I can understand that one.
Boogie Nights.
I mean, that's just porn though. So
that's a good damn movie. I don't care.
It is a really good movie, man. I mean, it was really good. Police Academy.
Yes, I forgot about them.
Yeah, because
I forgot about the Police
Academy.
It
was like sexist, racism.
It was all
Hits got called.
He ran the gamut. Yeah.
Hits got called a jigaboo.
What's crazy though is it did have representation.
Yeah, it did. It
did.
Lots of representation.
Let me not say it because I don't know if
Weird Science. Weird Science is another honorable mention. And Tropic Thunder.
And that listen, Tropic Thunder was a great movie. And you're right. There's no way that Robert Downey Jr. would be able to do that. I know, but watching that, I never felt any kind of way. And you know how your racist hair tingles when you say, "Oh, some shit ain't right here," you know. But I never felt that way watching him do that. It felt like he was genuinely trying to make his audience laugh and was genuinely trying to do his best at playing that role, at mocking that, you know, I'm a dude that's playing a dude that's disguised as another dude, you know, he killed that shit, and it never made me feel any kind of way.
It was so good.
Somebody had this. This is a good one here. Matthew Godet says, "What about Lando portraying Han in Empire? I remember people saying that was racist." You know what? Making Lando a slick hustler.
Yeah. Slick talking and
you never know.
Kind of looking like a pimp. Yeah, no, true.
I mean, he was a ladies' man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's before true. That was before the pansexual said. That's a good call right there. I didn't even think about that. All right.
I think I'll just start blocking stuff out when it comes to Star Wars. I'm like, no, it can't be true.
Yeah.
It can't be true.
now, this is where my list gets very different. Number 10, Tu Wong Fu.
I forgot about that.
Patrick Swayze.
Ooh.
Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes. Dressing in drag. That would never happen.
That was a great choice. Yeah, that's a good one.
Number 9. This is a big one. Soul Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys know about that? This white guy gets into Harvard and he can't afford it. So he dresses up as a black person so he can get a minority scholarship only given to black people.
I completely forgot about that damn movie.
That seems a little low on the list, if you ask me.
I did, but when you see the rest of my list,
I mean, damn.
Bro, I'm thinking Tu Wong Fu is too low on his list.
No,
it could be.
Check out the rest of my list here. Number 8, The Toy with Richard Pryor.
Oh,
yeah.
John Matrixx is killing it tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Jackie Gleason, a white guy, gets his son, a black man, for his birthday, and he literally opens the box, and Richard Pryor comes out.
Right.
That's a really good movie, though.
John, my wife loved it. Good movie. She was watching that yesterday. I swear on everything, she was watching it. That's a classic movie, man.
Yep. But it'll be called Racist today.
Yeah.
Number 7. I can't believe you guys didn't have this. Airplane.
See, I thought about it.
Man.
Night's not over yet.
the black people talking jive. And
the
old white lady has to. The old white lady says, "I know how to talk jive," and she's talking jive too. I thought it was funny, but that'd be considered racism.
Yeah.
Number 6. This should have been on everybody's list. Revenge of the Nerds.
It almost made my honorables, but the thing is though, it does touch. It touches. You've got representation. You've got representation from color. You've got representation from sex.
Yeah, because you got a gay black dude in there.
Yeah, they made the one black guy
gay. And then flagrant too with it, right?
There's one scene in that where the dude wears a mask posing as another dude. So for the woman.
That'll be rape. And also when they infiltrate the power, that would be considered sexual harassment. And they were recording them and watching them. All right. Number 5. This is old school. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, I know what that. Yeah,
man.
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney playing a Japanese guy with the buck teeth and everything. Nah, that won't ever happen. Number 4.
I put his ass in jail for that now. I mean, it's really over the top.
Number 4. Blazing Saddles.
Yes. I knew that was coming. I didn't
put it on because I thought somebody else would. That's why I didn't put it.
Got to put it on your list if you think it is. So.
Blazing Saddles will never make it in this day and age.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
And that is a classic movie, man.
Yeah.
I saw that movie the first time like in 1996. That movie's good. And, I mean, they have an old white lady dropping the N-word to the black sheriff.
And this the funny thing about it was funny.
Yeah, that was one of the funny parts of the movie.
What's his name? The director. What's his name?
Oh,
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. Yeah, because that's just his style. You know, I mean, he pokes fun at everything like that.
Everything and everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That was just his style.
I came out of that. I thought, man, Cleavon Little is one of the baddest dudes on the fucking planet. I thought that guy's my hero right there.
You know, somebody had brought up, I saw in the chat, Django Unchained. That's probably wouldn't make it today either. And that movie just came out in 2012. It didn't make my list, though. Number 3, Porky's.
Oh, yeah. Those movies off the hook.
Yeah, I remember those Porky movies, you know, objectifying women and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, but my number 2 movie is basically kind of a remake of Porky's, American Pie. Number 2, American Pie.
Yeah.
On the Legend said that one too.
Yep.
In the chat.
Yep. And the number 1 movie, I don't think anybody is going to come close to beating this number 1 because this number 1 is in a league of his own. It is so racist and everything. Birth of a Nation. The black and white movie that came out like 1909 or something.
Oof.
And that movie was so racist.
Whoa.
And the president of the United States said, he was basically saying it's all this stuff. And he said, it's so very true. I'm like, oh my God. That movie, you talking about blackface, racism, glorifying the Klan. And they actually had like the black people trying to rape white women.
Wow.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, you can actually see it on YouTube. It's like 3 hours long.
I might check that out after the stream.
I seen it. I didn't actually finish it, but man, it was getting kind of because it takes place around during the Civil War. Nobody can top that number 1.
Yeah. Well, you
I
just
don't know.
brought it
He still
down,
got
bro.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job.
Man.
He did a good job.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Woodrow Wilson. That's who it was. Yeah. Thank you, Matthew.
Oh, honorable mentions. Who said the Eddie Murphy stand-ups? Because I have them on here.
That was me.
That was Lord Callis.
Weird Science. Surprisingly, and I put this on here just so I could give it some love. I was gonna say all the Shaft movies, but the newest Shaft just ignored everything going on at the same time and just made a real film. So I'm showing that some love.
Yeah.
Fight Club is in my honorable mention.
Yep.
Caddyshack.
Ooh, good one. Good call.
Yeah. There's like an Asian guy in that movie that they do the whole over the top Asian dude.
Yeah.
That shit would never fly now. Here's one. Song of the South.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
Me either.
Just by the name, of it, I can tell.
It's an old movie. Look it up. Yeah, it would not get made. Most 80s and 90s action and slasher movies. I just all inclusive put them in my honor.
Wow.
Because women get beat on, I mean, there's sex everywhere. There's TNA. I mean, it just wouldn't,
Yeah.
This is an odd one. Grease. And
no, I can see it.
Yeah.
Feminists would go nuts over Olivia Newton-John turning herself into a sex symbol at the end of that movie for Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't need him.
That's right. That's right. And my last honorable mention is The Toy with Richard Pryor.
Oh, I'm glad you got that one in.
Yeah.
I'm
Number
surprised
10.
there's one movie that I almost put in my honorable mentions that hasn't been mentioned yet. So I'm gonna wait till you get through to see if it is on your list.
See if I get it in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Something you will never see again. You will never see this collection of this many white dudes in one place that are all straight ever again. Number 10, Red Dawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real. I mean, you'll never see that shit again. It's just not going to happen. Number 9. Y'all are going to be like, what? Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
No, I can see that, though.
At the end of that movie, they find out that Sean Young is a dude. And they done kissed on everybody.
Yep.
Ace Ventura, Dan Marino, everybody. And
Rose.
everybody starts throwing up everywhere.
Rose, you're exactly right. Because remember the scene where Ace Ventura found out she was a man? What did he do? He went in the bathroom and brushed his teeth.
He started plunging his face with a plunger. That shit was funny.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be insensitive to all trans.
That's another woke Jim Carrey.
That's right.
Before he got woke.
Yep.
Number 8, and this one's got so many classics. Tropic Thunder. Including
that's a good one.
Including the teaser trailer making fun of fat people at the beginning of the movie. You forgot all about that. Robert Downey Jr. and let us not forget, never go full retard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That became a meme.
Oh man, that just brought it all back, man. I love that movie.
Y'all made me want to.
I love that movie.
Jack. Number 7, the entire Police Academy series.
Yeah.
You know what I did, Rhodes? I only put like the first one because if the first one wasn't going to get made, then the other ones wouldn't.
Well, yeah, you got a point. You got a point. Number 6, Porky's.
Yep.
Yeah. Me and Rhodes think just alike.
Number 5, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
Number 4, Airplane. For the obvious reason.
Man, we think so much alike.
Blazing Saddles gonna be on this list too.
Number 3, Blazing Saddle. Number 2, and I can't believe nobody got this one. The Jerk with Steve Martin.
That's a classic.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
He white
guy. I haven't seen The Jerk.
Thinks he's black.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I've seen The Jerk. Yeah.
I think I saw it. I saw it.
Absolutely.
In the beginning of the movie, he was a white guy in a black family.
That's right. But he honestly thinks he's black. That shit would never in a million years fly now.
No.
Rose, you made me want to watch that again, man.
It's funny. It's funny as hell. Number 1, John Matrixx. I thought this was a slam dunk. Number 1, Soul Man. That movie is never in life getting made now. Ever.
But not over Birth of a Nation.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got you, but Soul Man, hey, even back then, Soul Man came out, and I kind of went, ew, I don't know if that's
appropriate.
Yeah, that's been 30 years.
You know what? Somebody in the chat said that True Lies, Matthew said True Lies would not get made today. That's a good one right there. I didn't even think of that one. Because that would make making Middle Easterns seem like terrorists, even though in the movie it's Middle Eastern terrorists, Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was pre 9/11 when that movie came out. That was in 1994.
Here's a good call. Andrew Dice Clay's stand up.
Yeah, none of them.
The
one that nobody put on that almost made my honorable mentions, but I kept it off because I would have seen it as gender swapping, was Top Gun. Because I think they would have probably said, no, well, there has to be, one of them has to be a woman.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
then it wouldn't have been made at all.
I mean,
Maverick would have been played by Daisy Ridley. Dude. Yeah, you're right.
Trust me, man. I was in the Navy. There aren't a whole lot of female pilots, and especially back in the 80s.
You didn't see Captain Marvel.
Which is
that was part of the basis of it. That was part of the basis of it. She was a pilot.
I mean, Top Gun
wanted to fly.
Top Gun was in the 80s,
but so was that. So when you watch it, did you see Captain Marvel?
Nope.
This is part of the reason why I say this, because in Captain Marvel, that was part of the whole I don't want to go as far as to say the agenda, but she was upset that she wasn't able to fly. So Marvel, who was supposed to be a man, right? Yeah, but was a woman. And then he was the one, or she was the one that took her out to fly before she got shot down by the Kree. So that's my whole point. If they made it today, regardless of the fact that and my father was in the military too. We were in the Air Force. My father was in the Air Force. So I get you. I know that. But I'm talking about you got to get out of that mind frame and think about that film as it was then being made today.
Yeah.
It would not have stood like that.
Right. You absolutely right, because I seen Top Gun before, and when I was watching the Captain Marvel trailer, when it was before it came out, they was trying to give you that Top Gun feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
She was walking with her best friend, who was a black woman. Who was a black woman.
But here's
they would have gender swapped or something.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Top Gun, though. I don't know if people actually know this. I was in the Navy from 2000 2004, and I remember picking my ships, whichever ship I wanted to. I can pick any ship I wanted to. Females only had a few ships they can choose from because a lot of ships didn't have females on them. So there was only
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, John.
I know.
You're dealing in reality.
I know.
What we're dealing with is not reality.
I'm just trying to tell the way it is. Because if you go back to the 80s, I don't even think women were even on ships. I don't think.
But it doesn't matter. You're talking about that movie being made today, John.
Yeah.
I told you Daisy Ridley would be Maverick.
Yes, she would. She would.
Yeah. In the chat here, the Duke says American History X. Now that's a movie that had representation and everything, but they probably don't want to open up that wound today.
Yeah.
That was a great movie too, man. Oh my God, that movie is great. I mean, you had black people, you had white people, you had Hispanics,
Yep.
women, men. You had well, he got raped. That scene probably would never get shown.
And Ed Norton, man, he's an underrated actor, man.
Ooh, I mean, he's a great actor, man. He is a really, really great actor. Somebody put the Christmas Story, A Christmas Story. How would that movie not get made?
Because you know what? There's not any black people in the movie.
There's black people in the movie. Actually, this is 1940s, and there was black kids in the same class.
Oh, that's right. You right. You right.
Yeah, but they were in and that's kind of funny because they were in Indiana. That was like a big Klan state back then too. But in the 1940s, the Klan wasn't really that big. In the 1940s, like in the 20s, it was big, and then in the 60s, it got big. 50s and 60s, like 1940s, it wasn't as big. So that's a good one. You guys, Ron says the sixth Star Wars movie. You talking about Revenge of the Sith?
No, Revenge of the Sith is diverse. You got Mace Windu, everybody in there.
Well, I think maybe Return of the Jedi there.
Maybe he's talking about Jedi being episode 6, but I don't see how. Schindler's List. Now, Schindler's List is about as historically accurate as you can get. And do you guys think Schindler's List will be made today? In the way it was made.
I don't know, because
I don't know.
They still play it, right? Though?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. No, I mean, like...
That's a Spielberg movie, too.
Yeah.
I think it would still get made.
I think so, too.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Because that's a historical movie, right?
Yeah.
I got a question. Do you think as box office totals continue to drop, and John, you said we're what, 9% down this year?
9.5%.
Do you think that at some point the shareholders in these companies are going to force a course correction away from this narrative?
The thing is, and this, if we go to this route, we're gonna have to dive into politics. And I don't know. I never talked about my political beliefs on the air. I talked to with Rhodes before, but if you look at Hollywood, man, they're to the left. They're like far left too. So with Hollywood, you know, and all these tech companies and everything, they're all on the left too. That's gonna be tough, man, because all the power brokers on the left. So I don't know if they would force a course correction.
I'm gonna tell you this. Me and Callis talk almost every day on Twitter, and we had a deep discussion similar to that. And I'm gonna have to cave in on air because he was telling me it's all about the money. And at the end of the day, he right. If these movies start bombing, then I feel like the shareholders will do a course correction. It's at the end of the day, it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. The thing is, these movies aren't necessarily bombing per se. Well, Men in Black is kind of a different thing right there. I mean, they were basically trying to, let's say if you kept like the same cast. So like Men in Black, Ghostbusters 2016, those didn't have really, they wouldn't focus on any of the original characters whatsoever. And they were trashed. But if you took, you guys know I don't like the Force Awakens. But if
I don't know why, but I know why. But I don't know why. I know why.
But if you
I love it though.
Let's just say that Han, Luke, and Leia were in if they were the main focus of that movie and they got that movie very woke with them, that would be even worse, I think. I think that would have been more of a wake-up call than, The Last Jedi.
I don't know, because you know what? We would still have them. We didn't get much of that.
Yeah, but if they got the movie woke, then that's different.
But John, I think that if they had those three, I don't think the story. I don't know how they would have been able to sort of navigate the story in that direction, because we would have been more focused on those three, as you know, the nostalgia of having those three back on the screen. Because for me, I'm completely fine with them having the new cast. It just should have been a passing of the torch. It shouldn't have been so abrupt. And so I could, had they all come together in The Force Awakens, and then us moved into The Last Jedi with Luke making it through The Last Jedi as he should have, then I wouldn't have been so upset with The Last Jedi, because the politics in The Last Jedi can be you can sort of associate the politics with The Last Jedi in the universe if they didn't dive or not dive, but if they didn't take Luke's character so far the other way to push the one narrative, or it seemingly pushing the narrative of Daisy Ridley being the Mary Sue. Because if Luke wasn't a bumbling idiot, in The Last Jedi, it wouldn't have made her character seem so out of place. You know what I mean? And so there wouldn't have been such a focus on whether or not she was a Mary Sue, and then thought of pushing the feminist agenda. Because what was happening on Canto Bight, that just sucked all around. It wasn't really about the politics of that. It just seemed like a wasteful scene for them to send Tico and Finn on. So they could have written something completely different, still using the message, because there's nothing wrong with that message. That's something that's in Star Wars. We know that Palpatine was a racist. He was a racist for the human race. He did not like aliens. Period. He wanted a galaxy of humans. That's known, but he was a racist for the human race. And so for them to push that in the Canto Bight wouldn't have been out of place, because they've touched that in the Star Wars universe. They did not like Wookiees. The Wookiees were enslaved to build the Death Star. Right, that's period, point blank. The Trandoshans were bounty hunters hunting the Wookiees for the Empire. Right, this is in the lore. You know what I mean? So for that Canto Bight scene, it wouldn't have been so bad for the message that they were trying to get across. It was the writing of that scene that was completely ridiculous. Anyway, that's just my two thoughts.
Guys, we have 21 people watching right now. If you could just smash the thumbs up button. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I've got one more small question.
Okay.
Do you think anybody in Hollywood will have,
this Senate is crazy,
will have the guts to break off from the pack and start creating films, TV shows, movies, possibly even in different locations? Like, I know there are other parts of the country that are growing as far as filmmaking.
Rose, I don't think
shift it back in the other way.
I don't think so, Rose. It's at the end of the day, it's all about the money.
Yeah. There aren't a whole lot of George Lucases out there.
Yeah.
George Lucas, if George Lucas is around today, do you guys think he would be on this woke path? I don't see that happening whatsoever.
No, because he got enough money. That dude is a billionaire.
Yes, and
he was about the creativity, though. He just liked to push boundaries of the creativity. I just think that, and when it came to his stories, he really held on to those reins, you know. So I don't think that. But
he was always anti-Hollywood. He was always an independent filmmaker. People forget that Star Wars are all independent movies that he.
Well, we talked about this the other night. I truly believe in my heart, the only person that can fix these Star Wars films and new trilogies is George.
He's the only one.
He's the only one.
The trilogy can't be fixed. There's at this point with this last movie, it can't be fixed. I'm just gonna go.
Just talking about future trilogies. You know?
No, absolutely, yeah.
Because Last Jedi that was like a nuclear bomb. It destroyed everything. So maybe
Dave Filoni.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like they want him involved with any of that stuff. But they get this Michelle Redjwan person to come in,
right?
That's going to be in charge of everything, which makes no sense.
Well, and they would look better. I've said this before. If Dave doesn't want the job, then they need to either allow him or them to come out and make a statement saying we offered Dave Filoni the job, he didn't want it.
I don't think they ever asked him.
I don't think they did either. But if they ever get around to it, and because I tend to believe he wants to stay directing or something like that.
But I honestly believe
they tried.
Honestly believe this though. They did not ask Dave Filoni for one of these reasons. I truly believe this because he is a white male.
That's true.
I think that's a reason. I really do.
They want diversity.
But even though they asked J.J. Abrams, he flat out turned it down. So, but isn't J.J. Abrams Jewish though? No, I'm clear.
I wouldn't even have thought about it if you hadn't said that.
I think he is.
I think he is.
Think about that's religion. That's not the race, though.
Yeah,
maybe they thought
Judaism is a religion.
But JJ, I mean, if he's Jews are minorities, though. That's what I'm.
But it's still not the. Yeah, I mean, it's still not a race.
Yeah.
Like Judaism it's the religious practice. It's
they've always been considered, minority.
You can't listen. I'm big advocate. There's 3 races, but I won't get into.
But Callis, I know, but when we know Jewish is when people think Jewish, people think Israelite people. I know what you're saying, but people just say Jewish anyway. Maybe it's an ignorant thing, but at the end of the day, Jewish is what mainly runs Hollywood. I'm just putting it out there.
No, he is,
but it's the religion though. That's not the race of people.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I mean, it's an ignorant.
It's actually both. It's actually both.
No, it's not a race, John. There's 3 races. There's.
No, I mean like ethnic groups. Ethnic groups. I mean, I'm talking about ethnic groups. Like
I got you.
Asking.
But
they're from like Poland and places like that.
But I know what Lord Callis is talking about because I'm a black man and I could be Jewish.
Yeah, you can
exactly
exactly. You can be that by religion, or technically DNA wise, you can be Jewish as well.
But at the same time, and I know it's ignorance. When I think
technically, if you mean like because they observe that it's passed down through the mother, is that why you say? Because it's not in the blood, because it's a religion.
No, it's also an ethnicity too. Like when you do a DNA test, like I did my DNA, it'll tell you if you're Ashkenazi Jewish, like from like Eastern Europe, like around Poland, places like that. It'll tell you if you're Jewish or not, because it is an ethnic group. Just like it'll tell you, like if you're from, like if you're Nigerian or something like that, or Norwegian, it'll tell you these things.
Well, see, when I always thought Jewish, and I know it's a religion, but I always traced it back to people from Israel.
Yeah, the thing is, it started off with the people in Israel thousands of years ago, and then they branched out to Europe, and they started intermixing with the Europeans there. So that's how you get these different Jewish groups like Ashkenazi Jews and things like that. So
I have my what's it called? Because I did mine too. I did my 23andMe.
I did,
and it's crazy when you look at it. It's crazy to see everything that's mixed up in there. But when you look at it, we're not 100. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying nobody on this. I don't think nobody on this planet is 100%.
No, not even close.
Yeah,
man, I'm from all over this planet, man. I found out I had Filipino in me. Do I look like a Filipino? It's like 1%, but still.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, we kind of got off on a tangent right there.
So. Yeah, we did.
Yep. This is one of the
Chris,
I'm just sitting here. I'm just the white dude. So,
but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, Rose. If you do that, listen to me. What I'm telling you, bro. Because I did the 23andMe, right? So you start off with your 100%, right? So out of my 100%, it's 74.4% for sub-Saharan African, right? And then it's 23.1% Northwestern European. Both my parents are black.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? And then it breaks those down. It breaks those down like it says, what is this? Iberian, broadly Southern European, broadly European, East Asian and Native American is 1.2%. I'm telling you, it's Southeast Asian 0.9%. We are mutts. Middle, it's crazy. So, like,
everybody's got
it gives you. Yeah, it gives you the map of the world, and then it highlights. So if I look at the sub-Saharan Africa, which is 74.4%, like, and then they give you the pie, right? So it takes up almost 75%, right? And that's in red. And then I wish we were on camera. I could just show you. And then it's the blue where it says the Northwestern European. Right, and then it's the East Asian. It's just crazy, man. So if you ever have the time, just do it, man.
Yeah, you should. Man.
I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm just gonna be real quick, but you know what they tell me, Callus? That's why the aliens haven't came yet. Because look at all the races that is inside of us, and yet we still are divided.
Yeah. And this is pretty common among black people in America, though. Like for me, you drop yours, I'm gonna drop mine. I'm 80% African, and that's like mostly Congo and Congo Bantu, and I am 12% British, 2% Norwegian, 1% French, 2% German, and I'm 2% Native American, and I'm around 1% Filipino.
So, John, that 2% that you said was German, so that might have been one of your great grandfathers or your great grandmothers that got with a German.
Here's the thing. On my ancestry, I can trace my ancestors all the way back to 1490 in France.
Wow.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, listen, it's crazy. You need to do this thing, man, because it takes it back to, mine goes back to 1710. 1710. It will tell you.
Well, I have more white people on my family tree than black people.
Hey,
just because on my dad's side,
my sister did one of those. Back. My sister did one of those like family tree ancestry deals. And they found out that one of the roads was on like the Knights of the Round Table.
Whoa!
I was like, "Whoa,
really?
That is like the fan right now."
It's cold, right?
You want to hear something? You want to hear something interesting? You know, I'm black. You know, we were oppressed in this country, but I'm also Arcadian too. They were oppressed too. They were forced out of Canada in Nova Scotia, and they had to move down to Louisiana. So
wow,
I guess I'm twice oppressed.
Wow.
So that's why you get the Arcadians in Louisiana. I mean, I'm from Texas, and most Texas people, a lot of their family is from Louisiana. So both my mom and dad's side are all from Louisiana, and over there was a lot of mixing over there. Just throwing it out there.
That blood is a powerful thing, man.
Yeah. All it did was spit in the tube for ancestry, and it came back, and it's some weird stuff, man.
That DNA.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I found some second cousins I never even knew.
Wow.
And it was accurate. So, man, we kind of like got way off topic there.
That's it's a good
this kind of stuff is awesome to talk about, though. I love to talk about that. It's crazy.
Because you were talking about Palpatine being racist and everything like that. So,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good stream, man. We've been holding 20 for a while right now, so we still got 20 people watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. smash that thumbs up button. I'm gonna leave this stream up for a few days. That's what I'm starting to do now. Leave the stream up for a couple of days so people can check it out. Then I'll enlist it after that.
And hopefully upload it to your podcast.
Yes, I guess I need to do that. That'll probably take a while, but I'll probably do that because I like this top 10 list right here. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, have you guys thought of any other ones that we kind of probably missed?
No, I can't think of anything, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. When Lord Kelly's dropping all his Star Wars knowledge, I know after this stream, I'm gonna watch a lot of his videos tonight.
You know what?
He just my mind talking about the Sith.
I just thought of one. I don't think Red Sonja would get made. And that had women in it. It had representation, Asian guy. But the movie was so bad that they probably wouldn't make it.
I was right about to say, John, that was a horrible movie.
Somebody dropped that in the chat earlier.
Yeah. They wouldn't make that movie just because it was bad.
I think Arnold just made that movie because he was dating her, but that was a horrible movie.
Yeah, Arnold was actually dating Maria Shriver, and he had Arnold. He's a womanizer. So, actually, come to think of it now, if they'd known he would have had a love child now, and his movies were getting made now, I don't think any of his movies will get made.
Yeah,
I mean, just think of it, man. Because Arnold, man, he was always messing around on Maria.
Quick question in the chat from Alexa. She asks, are the Duffer Brothers going to do something else other than Stranger Things?
That's a good question right there.
I hope so.
I'm sure they will, but not yet. They're working on Stranger Things season 4 right now.
Yeah.
But the Duffer Brothers, do they write the show too?
Yeah.
See, that's a pretty original show. So I will be interested to see what they do next after Stranger Things.
Yeah, I think that my coworker told me that they actually shot multiple seasons back to back because the kids are getting older.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's true or not, but I would think that they would, man, because Will is getting old.
Yeah.
Will is super tall now. And he was like a little kid 2 seasons ago.
But that makes sense though, because kids grow fast.
Yeah.
When they're not at that adult age, they constantly growing. So I can see why they do back to back.
I think they probably would need to, because the girl that plays Max is almost 18, and the guy that plays her boyfriend is almost 18.
Yeah.
The black guy, what's his name? Lucas.
Hey, is it pretty you guys that they do like Zac Efron?
You're really staticky, Jay.
Thank you. Is that me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you. There's a lot of static on your end.
Okay.
Yeah, you good now.
Yeah. Okay. You know what it was? I had some headphones in.
Oh. What were you gonna say though?
But I was saying it's kind of freaky that dude look exactly like Zac Efron in Stranger Things.
Oh, you're talking about
I thought that was Zac Efron, but I don't have a clue what that guy's name is.
You're talking about the one that
the best boy, the older brother to the redheaded girl. You know what I'm talking about? He got like the long hair.
Oh yeah. You're talking about his last name is Montgomery. Yeah, he's from Australia.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he does kind of look like Zac Efron.
I thought that was his brother or something.
Yeah. And I listened to an interview with him. Man, you would never know that he played Billy in Stranger Things, because he has he has an Australian accent.
Yeah,
and he seems like a real nice guy, but in Stranger Things, he's a bully.
Well, see, that's like Idris Elba. He has a European accent, but he can sound American.
Yeah,
he does a great job.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. has a pretty good British accent too. I mean, he did it in Chaplin, and he used it in Sherlock Holmes. I mean, I
always say that's great acting when you can change your accent up.
Yeah, but
Tom Holland too. It's crazy when you first hear. Like I remember the first time I heard Tom Holland speak, and I had no idea that he was British. I because he did a great job.
Yeah, but you also got to realize that these actors, they work with dialogue coaches.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely.
if they want like a certain type of an accent, you know, they're gonna work with like the guy from Arrow who played the police officer. He's actually British, but he has like this New York accent in the show.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like he's from Texas. So, but when you hear him in real life, he's British, which kind of shocked me. What's his name, Rhodes? I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about, huh?
Captain Lance.
Yeah, Lance. Yeah.
I don't know his name in real life. He's a good actor. I thought the show took a hit when he left.
Yeah. This last season was the first season really without him. Oh, the Duke brings up Gary Oldman. That's another good one. Gary Oldman is a man of many talents, man.
That dude, he might be my number one favorite actor of all time. He's so underrated in Hollywood for some reason.
Man, he plays. I mean, he played the Russian. He had the Russian accent.
He can do anything.
Then he had the Transylvanian accent when he played Dracula. And he had like that New York accent in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And you know, that guy is a man of many faces too.
You give Gary Oldman
Fifth Element.
Oh, don't forget about
Fifth Element.
No,
yeah.
Hannibal. When he played Mason Berger in Hannibal.
If you give Gary Oldman a role, I guarantee you 100% he gonna kill it.
Yeah, he does a great job.
He can play.
Y'all need to see him in True Romance. Playing he plays a half black, half Native American pimp.
See,
I'm gonna check that out.
That'll never get made today.
Rose, is that on Netflix?
I don't know. I don't know where it's at right now. I think it's actually on one of them like other free ones, like I don't know, the Tubby
True
channel.
Romance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just looked that up. That was made in '93.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino wrote that flick. Yeah, it's a great flick. I love it.
Oh, I just got a notice here on Hangouts. It says Hangouts is going away on August the 1st. I didn't know.
Yeah, but I think they're just I think they're just renaming it. They're sort of mixing all of the that's what I think somebody said. I think was it Lonely that said it? Jay, I think Lonely said that they were. It's not actually going away. They're just sort of combining the services and renaming it.
Gotcha. Well, okay, guys, this was a pretty fun live stream.
Absolutely, had a great time.
We will be on Rose Ranch channel on Tuesday night, 6:20 Central Standard Time, and we're gonna give our top 10 horror movies of all time. So, guys,
can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I know you're the horror movie guys, so
yeah.
But guys, we appreciate everybody coming out tonight, and we will catch you next time. Have a safe night.